crafters, it's Julie Creek from Creek Bank Creations. I'm super excited today to be with you here to talk about our new products. It is January 2023 and we have a new product line called Chip Chip Hooray. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to share it with you today. We have fun cookie cards. We have our cookies and milk paper pad. And we have the Chip Chip Hooray stamp set that we're going to work with today. When you purchase the stamp set, you'll find the dies are included in the package. This includes the sentiments, Chip Chip Hooray, it's your birthday, you're one smart cookie, I love you more than cookies, and in the cookies of life, you are the chocolate chips. So on the stamp set, I put small cookies for your smaller projects. They work really well with the spiral pop-up. And then we have larger cookies, and of course we have chocolate chips. Super fun thing that I'm going to share with you today is our new die called the Stove Pullout Die. We're going to get to that card in a minute. I'm going to show you how it works. So we have some samples here of the cookies, and these are great little way to express your love to someone. I love you more than cookies. You know, that's a lot if you love somebody more than cookies. This is in the cookies of life. You are the chocolate chips. And we've used our mason jar die here for the accent. Added a little milk to the mason jar. And this is a little sneak peek here for you. I don't know if you've seen a few of the things that I put on social media, but we do have a new Z-Fold program coming. That'll be released later. And this is the cookies hanging around saying, Chip Chip Hooray, it's your birthday. So fun things. What we're going to share with you here today is that stovetop die. And I have sized that die, this die, it's an interactive die, to fit on the front of a card like you see here, or you can place it on the inside. So what's fun about this card is that you have the little oven mitt sticking out of the oven, and when you pull on the oven mitt, the cookie sheet comes out, and you can pull it in and out of the card. Super fun. So this is what I'm prepared to share with you today. We're going to learn how to make the stovetop die. And I accented the inside of this card with the sentiment, you really are amazing. And that came from our Love Wins stamp set. So let's figure out how to make that stovetop card. So we're talking about the stove pull-out die. This is what the package insert looks like. It's a rather large package. This does cut on the standard cutting plate, though. There's just a lot of pieces in the package. So this is our package. I am storing mine in our die storage envelope, and then I've added my magnetic sheet to it, and that keeps all of my dies together. And I also store my Chip Chip Hooray stamp set with it, but that's optional. In the very least, the storage envelope organizes the die for you. So I want to go over with you what's included in the die set when you purchase it, and everything that you're looking here is included. So let's start up here on the top. This die with the pieces, the tabs on the end, is your base, and it is what we're going to adhere to the card. You'll notice there are several dies on here that have X's on them. And you know, whenever I put an X on a die, it means that that is where the tape goes. So when you start working on this project, you'll know that I'm giving you a message, sending you a message. So we have the oven mitt, and then this little accent piece is the little decorative piece that goes on the bottom of the oven mitt. This is your spatula. This is your cookie sheet over here. Now, we do have other die sets that have the cookie sheet in them, but this cookie sheet has the score mark, so the cookie sheet folds and comes in and out of the oven properly. Now, I made these two pieces to go on the back of the cookie sheet, because if you are using paper that has a white backing, a lot of this foil paper has a white backing. We don't want, when you push this back into the card, let me pull this so you can see it, back here on the back, we don't want white showing. So these pieces are made for you to put on the back of the cookie sheet, so when you slide that back in, you have the same color on the front of your cookie sheet as you have on the back. Now, if we look close, you can see right there is our medium weight acetate, and that is the element that's pulling it back and forth, and that is cut from this die. We'll go through this all as we go, but I like to go through the die and explain the die pieces to you. So this is your cookie sheet. These pieces are your stove elements. So you have your base stove piece here. You have your grill plate here. Put that back over here. Then this little circle, little bumpy thing is your fire, so you can cut that on red. And then this is the plate that goes on top of your fire. Let me show you here close up what that looks like. So you have that long bar, and that's the front of the top of your stove right here. And then you have your knobs. And what I like to do is cut the knob as a circle and then cut it as a rectangle, which is what they have here, and then layer one on top of the other. And I don't know if you can see that here, but it really looks dimensional on here, which is really fun. And I will tell you that we have included in our line now a line of glitter paper. And I don't know if you can see the red that's on here and the background that I used, which is the Summer Beach glitter. Really nice look for the fronts of your cards. So those are the pieces. This is your stove. These are your baking elements. This is your base. This is your cookie sheet. This is your interactive piece. And let's get started on our card. So we're going to get started with our card. We're going to start with a basic A2 card. And I do recommend that you use heavyweight cardstock. We do have 110 pound cardstock on our website. I stamped in the middle of our card in the inside. You really are amazing. So that's already done. And then we're going to add a piece of pattern paper to the front of our card. And we are going to cut that 5 3/8 by 1 1/8. We will adhere this whole thing to the card later. I'm going to just work on this card base for now. So we have our card base, and we are going to use the stove pull-out die, and we are going to cut this piece. Now this is the piece that we will build the whole stove on. It's the craft piece here that we will attach to the card. So whatever color you want your base stove to be, you're going to cut it on that paper. Now, what you want to do is look at this, and the side that you've scored down into, I can clearly see the X's that this die scored into. We want to turn that side down, and we want to decorate the other side. So that I've marked it that this is the side I'm going to decorate. So I'm going to fold this on those score marks, and we are going to decorate this side. That is going to put that score mark on the inside of my card. And you saw there, I already have tape on the tabs ready to go. So we're going to build our stovetop on here. I'm going to break in here with some info for you as we're building this. These pieces are cut with our super tacky tape on the back. So when I die cut them, they are a sticker. But I do like to add a little bit of adhesive to them, liquid adhesive. And I have the Art Institute here because we're using the glitter paper, which this is a super fine glitter paper, but it's taken a lot of pushing and pulling because of the interactive element that's on the card. So when I'm adhering these pieces, I am adding just a little bit of liquid. I have my stovetop all built on there. So now I am going to take my pick tool and I'm going to release this tape liner from the top up here. And then I'm going to go in with my Art Institute and I'm going to add a thin line of glue on there. Because this card is going to take a lot of pulling on it, we're going to use both the tape and the liquid. I'm going to set that right on top of my card right there. And it should be the same size. If it's not, you want to center it. Stick it down. And that will be your stovetop. Fun. Okay. We have completed our stovetop and we're ready to move on. So we are going to locate this die, the rectangular die with 2 X's on it, and we are going to die cut that on our medium weight acetate. It's going to cut the shape for us and it's going to give us the folds. And we are going to fold on that fold line. So we're going to take the score line on the right and we're going to fold it under. And then we're going to go over to the score line on the left and we're going to score it towards us. We're going to fold it towards us. So the one on the right, I'm folding to the back. The one on the left, I'm folding to the front. Now you want to take your bone folder or scoring tool and push down on that. You could even use like the edge of a credit card or a coin. You need to get a really good crease in that so that your piece holds up for you. And so we've got our tabs going there. Now we're going to take and we're going to put tape on one of the ends, on one of those little flaps. And you could put 1/2 inch tape, or I'm putting 2 pieces of 1/4 inch tape on it. Then I'm going to add a glue line just for safekeeping. Okay, we're going to use both. I'm going to pull that out just a little bit. We're going to locate our card and we are going to open it up. So I've got the pattern paper here and the flap here. And remember, we talked about those X's earlier. We're going to take our piece and we're going to set that right on top of where those X's are. So you should be putting your adhesive right down into where those X's are. We're going to let that sit, push that forward, and I'm going to put tape on the flap right there. So I have tape on this top piece. I'm going to set this aside, and we are going to locate the pieces that we die cut for our cookie sheet. So we have the cookie sheet, and then we have that strange little half cookie sheet, and then we have this little rectangle piece. So I've already cut my pieces on cardstock, and we are going to fold that on the fold line. And then so this is cut on cardstock, no super tacky tape on the back. This one is cut with our super tacky tape on the back. That enables you to pull that off and put that cookie sheet on there and line it up perfectly so that when the cookie sheet folds, you still have the same color and you don't have the white showing. Before I adhere all this together, I'm going to go ahead and put my cookies on my cookie sheet. And I have die cut and stamped and colored these ahead of time. I just have my super tacky tape on the back of them. We're just going to lay those on the cookie sheet, and you can see how those cookies have been sized to fit on that cookie sheet so well. And there are small heart-shaped cookies, or there are small round cookies on that stamp set. I'm going to add the spatula here. And this is also, I've die cut with our super tacky tape on the back. I'm going to lay that down right across there. Put that cookie. I think we'll put it on top. There we go. Now, when we go to add the oven mitt, we are going to adhere this so that the oven mitt ends up being the pull tab that allows you to pull the cookie sheet out of the oven. So when you die cut your oven mitt, you want to die cut 2 of them and put the die down into the red side of the paper, and we're die cutting this with our super tacky tape on the back. So if you aren't familiar with that tape, show you, we're going to unroll it. We're going to put our cardstock in it and trim it out. So when we die cut, it's a sticker. So you're going to put the die into the red side of the paper or whatever color you want your oven mitt to be and die cut it. And then flip that piece of paper over and cut it into the tape side. So I've die cut 1 into the paper and 1 into the tape. And that is going to enable me to sandwich the 2 pieces together to give it strength. Now this little piece is your little accent for your oven mitt. And I die cut that with my super tacky tape on the back. I'm going to stick that there. Now I'm going to peel the liner off of my oven mitt, and I'm going to place that where I want it on the cookie sheet. Then I'm going to turn it over, and because I cut this on the other side of the super tacky tape, I'm going to be able to sandwich that together, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of liquid glue here just for extra hold. Right up in there. Stick that on, and that will give my cookie sheet the pull that it needs, and it'll be extra strong. And then we're going to drop in that other cookie right where we want it. We are ready to attach the cookie sheet to the card. So I have added my tape to the top tab. Going to take my pick tool and remove the tape liner from that piece, and we will adhere this to the cookie sheet. So we're going to take the cookie sheet and we're going to lay it just like this in front of our project, and you can see we have that notch out right there. So this is my base, and I'm going to put that right up next to that area where that rectangle is, and I'm going to adhere it right to there. Now I'm going to add a line of liquid before I push it down. So I'm going to push that right into there, and you'll see that that fits into that little space exactly. And then we are going to take that little piece that we had die cut and slip it in that spot, so that all of the adhesive and the attaching that's there, adhesive, does not show. Now I'd recommend that you let that sit a little bit before you start pulling on it. But you have attached your cookie sheet. So we are ready to pull our card together. We're going to remove the tape from the 2 side tabs. We will run adhesive down each of these sides because it's going to take a lot of use. And then we will pull our card shut. Hold that down and let it dry. So the only thing we have left to do is to go ahead and add the sentiment at the bottom, attach it to our card. And we have this really fun card. We pull on that oven mitt, and we've got the cookie card. So you could change it around. We have the Christmas cookie stamp and die set. You could put Christmas cookies on there too. Super fun card. It is called the Stove Pull-Out Die. And you can find this with our Chip Hooray products on our website. And if you stuck around this long, I have a bonus I'm going to share with you. When you die cut or stamp with the stamp set from Chip Hooray, I'll just show you this. This is your bonus. When what you see there is the stamp has the ability all of the cookies are connected, the little cookies, so you can stamp them. Let me get the right one. You can stamp all of the heart cookies at once, all 4 at once. And when you have your dies, leave those all connected, because you can lay that over the top of your stamp set and die cut, and you'll be able to cut 4 round cookies or 4 heart-shaped cookies all at the same time. That was your bonus info. I thank you so much for joining me and learning how to make the stove pull-out heart.